Hi, this is Nita and welcome to Nita's Niche. Here's a question. Do you remember some of the defining moments in your life that shaped you to be the person who you are today? And I don't mean great positive moments like falling in love, graduating from college, or becoming a parent. I mean moments of great adversity, hardship, failure that tested your strength and your character. Whether it is failing an entrance exam, or someone you trusted betrays you, or facing financial hardship, we all have those defining moments. And I had many defining moments, but the earliest ones that happened to me were during adolescence, which I'm going to tell you about. As a teenager, I had to go to 4 different high schools because during my freshman year, a war started in my native country and my education was disrupted. So I ended up going from country to country each year until I graduated. And let me tell you, there are pros and cons to changing many schools. Pros is that I learned to be a very flexible person, and to this day I can adapt to new situations very easily. And because I met so many different people from different cultures, I can easily establish rapport with different kinds of personalities. But the disadvantage was that I had to exert a lot of mental effort to cope in a new environment. After all, I was always the new girl who had to start from the beginning, make new friends, while everyone else knew each other for years, since middle school or elementary school. And it's not fun standing in front of the class being introduced by your teacher. And the introduction was always the same. Everyone, we have a new student in the class. Nita, would you stand up and introduce yourself? And I would stand up and I would say, hi, my name is Nita. I am from Kosovo. And then the teacher would say, tell us what do you like to do? And I would say, I like to read. And some kid at the back would say, boring. Yeah, now it's fun, but it wasn't fun back then. But there was one defining moment that happened to me during my junior year of high school. Basically, we had to do a presentation for a biology class. And even though I studied very hard and I practiced the material, when I stood up, I froze. I barely said 2 sentences, and all I could think of was all these kids watching me and judging me. So my heart started beating fast and my voice was trembling. And yeah, I felt pretty bad. And I remember sitting down feeling very embarrassed. As a teenager, very self-conscious, but to fail in front of your peers, yeah, you're even more self-conscious. So I'm feeling pretty bad. And then the bell rings, the class is over, and as I'm walking out of the classroom, my teacher says, Nita, can I speak with you? And I thought she's gonna probably tell me she's gonna give me 0 points for the presentation. Instead, she says, how are you doing? And I said, I'm doing fine, even though at this point I wasn't fine. I was overwhelmed with negative feelings because I've just experienced so much change in a short period of time. It just became everything overwhelming. And I started tearing up, and she saw that. So then she gives me the best motivational speech. She says, I know it's hard. You're starting everything from the beginning. New school, new friends, new country. But this will pass. Things will be better for you. And then she says, I want you to go home, relax, but then every day I want you to study like your life depends on it. And when it's time to do our second presentation, you're gonna stand up and you're gonna teach us all, including me. And then she says, I know you can do it. I can see it in you. And man, I don't know if she meant that speech, but it had such a powerful effect. I took her advice and I ran with it. I really studied like my life depended on it. But as a result, I started thriving in every class, and my confidence grew, and I started making many friends. And when it was time to make or do the second presentation, I stood up and I delivered. And all I can remember is kids clapping. at the end of the class, my presentation, and then she's on the corner, the teacher, and just nodding and smiling like, yes, you did it. It was the best feeling ever. I learned two things from that experience. One, that when you fail, you can either let failure teach you and strengthen you, or you can let it define you. And the second thing I learned was that with my teacher's help, I realized one of my greatest strengths, which was perseverance. But if you are going through some hardship or failure, and you're feeling pretty down, you're sad or angry or dissatisfied, I strongly encourage that you listen to that dissatisfaction and use that as a source of motivation to power yourself out of that situation and make a move in a better direction. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Or, well, you can believe in yourself. But there is so much talk these days about the power of positive thinking, that if you just think positive, it's the key to success and happiness. And I think thinking positively helps us when we face setbacks, but I truly believe, at least in my case, that any time you listen, acknowledge that dissatisfaction, and you use that as a motivation, it can really steer you in the right direction. So yeah, this is it. But one last thing I do want to say is that in the near future, I will be making some live videos because I want to interact with you. But it was good to see you. Have a great day. Take care of yourself.